Welcome back, fans, to Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Warriors dropped Game 1 4-3, 5-4. We are here in the top of the first inning, a couple of outs, and first baseman Santana Anderson worked her way to an 0-2 count. If you are just joining us, we're glad you're here with us for the second game. If you're back with us, we're glad you were with us in Game 1. Again, the Warriors dropping that one 5-4, fought back down 3-0 in the seventh. And there's a line drive that short hops the right field fence, and Anderson's going to be in for a stand-up double. Kennedy quickly over, but a two-out double. Actually going to be Anderson's third double of the season. She came in hitting .476, so real nice start to the season for Santana. A little two-out double for the Saints. Tied 3-3 going to the top of the eighth. Saints picked up 2. Warriors picked up 1, but fell just short. Had a couple of hard-hit balls that the Saints were able to run down in the outfield. And here we are with Ella Grace Lawton getting her second start of the season. She is 0-1 with a 0 ERA. Pitched 3 innings early in the season, gave up 8 hits, 2 runs, and no strikeouts. Made a great play earlier in the inning. Hard hit line drive back at her that she stabbed for the out. Third baseman Madison Chappell stands in with a couple of outs here, 0-1 count. And there's a hit batsman, so
now the bat, Madison Vinicombe.
So Madison Chappell trots down to first base after getting hit by the elbow, and catcher Madison Vinicombe steps in. I believe I am pronouncing that correctly. We don't have a pronunciation guide at this time, so hopefully that is correct. A couple of outs here, and Reagan Bristol, the designated player, waits on deck. I believe it's going to be a 1-0 count, or 0-1 count, rather. Had a little technical difficulties with the scoreboard. There's a fly ball. Right center field, Talissa Kennedy is going to be underneath it for the out. So Warriors keep the Saints scoreless here in the top half of the first. Warriors coming to bat. Welcome back, fans. We are here at Varsity Field.
Now at the bat, Addie Johnson.
Addie Johnson's going to be leading off for the Warriors here in the bottom half of the first inning. And we are joined in the press box by Aubrey Mullinax, making her debut on the scoreboard. Couple strikes now for Addie Johnson. I believe Aubrey is associated with Mullinax Tree Service and potentially Rails. Is that correct? I want to be honest with you. If you want the best chicken strips in the country, you need to visit Rails in Central South Carolina. I've ate a lot of chicken strips in my life, and they are by far the best. It's amazing. And Addie Johnson with a big swing down the left field line. We'll see if that's going to be fair. And it is fair. Home run, solo shot off the bat of Addie Johnson. Nothing better than a leadoff home run there off the bat of the Warriors and Addie Johnson. And that puts the Warriors up 1-0. We start talking about chicken strips and rails, and look what happens.
Now at the bat, Talissa Kennedy.
Talissa Kennedy stands in, playing right field again for the Warriors. Came into the day hitting .500 and takes this pitch low. Just out in front of the pitch, and Santana Anderson makes a nice play at first and flips to the second baseman, Faith Calloway, for the out. Caroline Ruth is the pitcher in Game 2 for the Limestone Saints. She is a senior, comes in at 1-2, 3 games started. This is a 4th game started in the 23 campaign. Has a 1.05 ERA, and as we mentioned, Limestone came in with a team ERA of 1.59, and Autumn Barnhart's single drops just in front of center fielder Carly Womack. So Barnhart with a single pushes up A.G. Wingate. So 1 out here in the bottom half of the first. Leadoff home run by Addie Johnson puts the Warriors up 1-0 with an opportunity to score some more here. Still overcast. Lights are on. They're not in full effect yet. Not much wind to speak of. And a strike there on AG. A.G. Wingate, 2 home runs on the season. 1 earlier today, and there's a ground ball to the shortstop. She flips over to the second baseman, and in time for the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. But not before Addie Johnson sends one over the left field wall. After 1 complete, Warriors lead 1-0. Designated player Reagan Bristol at the plate. That ball's going to drop just in front of Talissa Kennedy. She thought about throwing it out at first base, but wasn't hit quite hard enough. This is going to bring up left fielder Taylor Jenkins. You'll remember back in the 7th inning, Taylor Jenkins pinch ran. 7th inning of game 1, she pinch ran and actually had a really good base running play on timing there off the ground ball to shortstop Addie Johnson. She gets the start here in game 2. Bunt attempt goes foul. Ella Grace Lawton, as we mentioned in game 1, a local product from Pickens High School. Also from USC Sakahatchee. Pitch ties up Yarborough, but not enough for Bristol to make her way to second base. 2-1 count here, no outs in the top of the second. Your hometown Warriors leading 1-0. Fans, we'd like for you to get interactive as much as possible. We'll be throwing up a Slido.com graphic here shortly, and in the process, you'll be able to head to the Slido.com website, type in the participant box that's located on your screen now. You do not have to create an account. It is free. You can remain anonymous. We'd just like to know at least where you're watching from. So if you'll give us your hometown, if you have any questions, any shout-outs, any of the players. We've had a few people already contact us, and we appreciate that. Earlier, we had some people from Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, Lamar, South Carolina, Oro Valley, Arizona. Jenkins still in there, and that's going to be a strike. And Jenkins will head back to the dugout. It's going to bring up right fielder Jalen Atkins.
Now at the bat, number 23, Jalen Atkins.
Shout out to Andy Gray Wingate's Mimi, and she's listening from Sumter, South Carolina. We appreciate all those that are watching. We also had a question about the camera angle was different from the season opener, and the reason we have the camera inside the press box is we have been expecting inclement weather all day, so we are trying our best to keep the equipment dry. We are able to have 2 angles, though, for you today, so good weather next home game. We'll have it back out behind home plate so you get a little bit better view, so hope that helps you if you're watching at home. And if you're watching the season opener or if you tuned in last year. As we mentioned, Ryan McCackern on the board in the production truck, and we appreciate all that he's done and had some exciting news. He made us aware he'll be working an internship with ESPN this summer. So that fly ball's hit deep left field, and Rominger's going to get over. And Madison Kiefer is going to cut it off. And here comes the play at the plate. It's not going to be in time. But the play at the third, and she misses her. Actually, she's called out. I thought she might have missed the tag, but Jalen Atkins, who doubled to the left center field wall, was thrown out after a play at the plate. wasn't in time, and this brings up center fielder Carly Womack with a couple outs, and we are tied 1-1. So once again, fans, you can go interactive with us. You can visit Slotto.com. You do not have to create an account. It is free. You just need to put the participant code in the box. Make sure you add the hashtag as well. And we'll touch base frequently throughout the game. There's a foul ball off to our left.
Let's save our sound effects for celebrating when we do a good thing rather than shaming when they do a bad thing. How about that? There we go. So yeah, if somebody hits a home run or anything like that, we can always, so we will sound effect for celebration.
Ella Grace with the long look in, 1-1 count, 2 outs here. And that's going to be a strike. So Carly Womack and there's a pitch out in front of the circle, and Ella Grace comes out, but not in time as Womack, quite the speedster down the first base line, so she beats that out for a base hit, and that brings up Katie Wilbur, the shortstop.
Katie Wilbur.
So if you're just joining us, Southern Wesleyan jumped out in front off of the leadoff home run by Addie Johnson in the first inning. Limestone has answered back here in the second. So we are deadlocked at 1. Carly Womack on first base. Katie Wilbur at the plate, and there's a swing and a foul ball off to our right.
Just don't overuse it. Yeah, I have a car alarm too. There you go. Yeah, I can hear it. I heard it. I must have seen it
There's a ground ball back up the box. Madison Kiefer quickly gets it in, keeps the runners at first and second. Second baseman Faith Calloway steps in.
Now the bat, Faith Calloway.
Faith Calloway is 0 for 1. She flew out earlier in the game, back in the first inning. Nice play there by Ryan Yarborough. Yarborough from Batesburg, Leesville, South Carolina. And there's a pitch for a called strike. And there's a ground ball back up to Ella Grace Lawton, and she throws over to first base to end the inning. Not before Limestone ties it up. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning. We are tied at 1 each. Bottom of the second here. And with that, third baseman Emma Jo Wolf will lead off. And there's a foul ball off to our right. Nice changeup there by Caroline Ruth, just off the plate. Pushes it to a 1-1 count. That pitch down in the zone for a ball.
I know, we kept trying to get up and go get them. The kids were like all excited. We'd get up and go run over there, and they'd, oh, we'll get it. Okay. I'm like, do I need to get you guys to sign a waiver?
There's a called strike. Evens the count at 2-2. A ground ball out. And second baseman Faith Calloway picks it up and throws out Emma Jo Wolf. Catcher Ryan Yarborough makes her way into the box. And there's a changeup for a strike. Yarborough probably not expecting to see a changeup first pitch. Typically, you don't see a changeup first pitch just because you're trying to get timing down. And she sits at 1-1. There's a pitch outside, pushes it to 3-1. Got some more watching from Sumter, South Carolina and Summerville, South Carolina. Pitch up in the zone. Full count, 1 out. And a called third strike. Brings up center fielder Madison Kiefer. We do have some of the Kiefer family from Summerville, South Carolina listening, and Darren Matthews and Joy Lawton Matthews giving a shout out from Atlanta to their niece, Ella Grace Lawton, who is the starting pitcher for the Warriors. There's a foul ball back behind us. As we mentioned, with the camera update, bringing the camera inside today for inclement weather, we're expecting showers pretty much throughout the course of both games, but fortunately the weather has held off. There's a chance of pop-up showers, but I think most of them are later, around 7, 8 o'clock. We should be finished by then, and now we're sitting at a 1-1 count with 2 outs, as is Madison Kiefer, the graduate student from Columbia College. And there's a ground ball out to the third baseman. And just like that, Madison Chapel ends the inning with a 5-3 if you're scoring at home. That's going to take us to the top half of the third inning. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the John Bolton third inning.
Santana Anderson.
Welcome back to the top half of the third inning. John Bolton photo inning. Check out John Bolton, or rather BoltonPhoto.com. That's BoltonPhoto.com. Graphics should be on your screen here. If you were here or actually want to see some photos from the season opener, you can peruse the website and check out some action shots. He's not here today. He'll be back probably the next home game, I would imagine, here at Varsity Field. But throughout the season, visit BoltonPhoto.com for exciting photos, action photos of your Warriors. Santana Anderson, as we mentioned, the Saints' top hitter, came into today hitting .476. And she does have a double 1-for-1 today in game 2. Check swing, and first base umpire said she did swing, so that pushes it to a 1-2 count. Anderson, the leadoff hitter. Here for the Saints in game 2 of this doubleheader. Warriors dropping a heartbreaker in extra innings, 5-4 earlier today. There's a foul ball off from the third base dugout. If you're not with us for game 1, we were cruising. Pitchers were dominating all the way up into the 7th inning. Limestone picked up 3. Warriors came back with 3 in the bottom half, and then Limestone went up to a 5-3 lead. Warriors cut it within 1, had a couple of hard hit balls, but couldn't find the turf. So Southern Wesleyan is now 2-3 on the season. Limestone is 3-4 in the 2023 campaign. At the knees, called third strike. Nice pitch by Ella Grace Lawton there. And your pitchers around the South Atlantic Conference are going to quickly learn you're going to have to keep the ball down to Santana Anderson. She's a good hitter. Third baseman Madison Chappell got hit by a pitch first at bat here in game 2. And there's a swing and a foul ball back off to our right. As we mentioned earlier, baseball back in action tomorrow at the Con. First pitch, 1 o'clock. That has been moved up. That has moved up to a 1 o'clock start from a 2 just to try to beat the rain. Our spring sports have been battling rain for about a week and a half now. We have more scheduled tomorrow and forecast for Saturday as well. Softball was scheduled to go play at Anderson tomorrow against the school from up north and then play Anderson on Saturday. That's been revised a little bit, so they'll now just play the doubleheader at noon at Anderson. So if you are in the area or if you're coming up expecting back-to-back doubleheaders, it will just be on Saturday. Hopefully they can get that in. Anderson does play on turf, so they should be able to play through the rain as much as possible. Pop up back behind second. Addie Johnson takes care of that. For the second out here in the third inning.
Now the bat, number 15, Madison Vinicone.
Say that last name again? Vinicone.
Catcher Madison Vinicombe steps into the plate. Host of superstars up here in the press box with us tonight. Going from my left to right, we've got Mike Tapper, Dr. Mike Tapper. PA music is anchored down by Matt O'Banion, working on some sound effects here in game two. Hard line drive, hit the right center field, going to short hop the wall. Kiefer's going to get that one in, but not before a stand-up double to Madison Vinicombe. Grace Eckert working the stats in place of the stat guru, Isaac Tassie. If he's listening, he's rolling his eyes right now. Aubrey, special guest on the scoreboard. Emily Germain in here running the show, overlooking Ryan McCachran in the production truck.
Guru? Isaac hates anything that like gives him applause.
He's doing game one tomorrow. Then he asked.
Did Chris talk about something? Out. What is it?
What? Did he send it to you?
Now the bat, number 11, Addie Johnson.
All right, fans, sorry about that. We had a little glitch in the technology. Good out there. Glitching the technology, glitching me speaking for a second there.
I think that one was a ball.
So we are back here. Addie Johnson hitting now with a couple of outs in the bottom of the third. Remember, Addie led off the game with a home run. Give the Warriors a lead. Since then, Limestone has matched that and tie a score of 1-1. We appreciate everyone that's reached out via the Slido.com, the interactive feed. Got some more people cheering on Addie Johnson from Murrells Inlet. Love the leadoff home run, and just like that, she's up now batting, so we'll see what she can do with this at bat. Hopefully everyone that has checking with us, in with us, to get an opportunity to visit Varsity Field here on the beautiful campus of Southern Western University in Central South Carolina at some point during the spring. And when you do, make sure you visit Rails up in Central. Grab some chicken strips for in between games. Well worth the visit. They do have more than chicken strips. I do have to admit. I've yet to go there and not thoroughly enjoy everything I've got. But pulled pork is amazing, and there's a drop deep left field, and that's going to just miss, clearing the left field wall. So Addie Johnson, solo shot in the first inning, about 3 inches from missing her second home run here in game 2. She's there with a stand-up double. Her next at bat will root for a triple and hope for a single and hit for the cycle before this is over. Talissa Kennedy stands in. Talissa's 0 for 1 with a ground out earlier. She is in the upper third in hits, leading in hits with the Warriors thus far. And there's a swing and a miss. Addie Johnson in scoring position, second base with 2 outs. A single to the outfield should score her. 1-1 count. Foul ball off to the right. There's a ball up in the zone. Addie Johnson is second. Trying her best to pick up another 90 feet. Deuces are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And that pitch is on the inside. So full count, 2 outs. A lot of foul balls here in the second game. There's a line drive going to fall just in front of the left fielder. And Johnson, a nice slide. And Kennedy with heads-up hustle into second base. So a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and Talissa Kennedy drops it just in front of the left fielder, Taylor Jenkins. Addie Johnson rounding third with a great head-first slide into home plate, avoiding the tag, and Talissa Kennedy with some heads-up base running, hustling into second base, putting herself in scoring position now as the Warriors take a 2-1 lead here in the third inning. That's one thing I've noticed this season. The Warriors have done a really good job of base running, taking the extra base. And Barnhart's single to first baseman Santana Anderson ends the inning. Not before the Warriors pick up a run. We'll head to the fourth inning. Southern Wesleyan 2, Limestone 1. We'll be back in 54 seconds.
Now with the bat, number 3, Taylor Jenkins.
Clouds are getting a little darker here tonight, and that's not just because the sun's going down. We've had overcast skies for a couple of days and was fully anticipating some wet weather today. Fortunately, it's held off, but it is getting a little darker. I know there was a precipitation chance, got pushed back to around 7, so we're closing in on the 6 o'clock mark. But before that, we're in the fourth inning here. Warriors lead 2-1, and that pitch is down in the dirt. Taylor Jenkins playing left field at the plate for the Saints. She is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Taylor came on and pinch ran in the first game and scored a big run for the Saints in the 7th. Both basketball teams picked up a big conference win earlier this week. Women and the men defeated Erskine College on Tuesday night. Both teams will be back in action on Saturday against Converse. Ella Grace Lawton picks up the ground ball to her and tosses it over to first base for the out.
Now with the bat, number 23, Jalen Atkins.
Right fielder Jalen Atkins, Jalen came in today hitting 143. She's 1 for 1 with an RBI and a double. A lot of softball, baseball, lacrosse starting up on Saturday as they visit Anderson University as well. So we'll have both lacrosse and softball at Anderson. Basketball is finishing up the regular season, and both teams are doing everything they can to be in contention for postseason play, conference tournament. Indoor track is slowly coming to an end. Conference championships just around the corner for indoor track. And what a big weekend for Ronan O'Neill, setting a school record. Great things ahead, not only for both men and women track, but for Ronan and many others. Jalen Atkins battling up here at the plate. I think it's a 2-2 count. Lights are starting to take full effect now, so that twilight time period was a little difficult to see. That pitch down in the dirt, Ella Grace might be tiring just a little bit. So we mentioned she did transfer in at the break, so wasn't able to be out here with the Warriors during the fall. She's pitched a good game, 3 1/3 so far, and scattered 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, and only 1 run. Atkins draws a walk, and that brings up center fielder Carly Womack. Womack not only hitting from the left side, but great speed on the base pass, so any slow hit, ground ball, or slap around the infield, and you're going to have to really make the play quick. In fact, Emma Jo Wolf is in at third base, anticipating the slap or the bunt for a hit. And there's the attempt at a slap, goes foul. So Emma Jo Grace is in at third base, and Addie Johnson is going to pretty much be straight up, maybe playing a little bit opposite field. Outfield is shallow. Left field, Rominger is real shallow. There's a ground ball to Johnson. She fires over first base, and close call there, but field umpire calls her safe. Honestly, there's not much Addie could have done. Carly Womack can flat get down the line. There's no doubt about that. Johnson fielded that cleanly. Made a good, strong throw, just not in time. Bang, bang play, and this brings up shortstop Kay Wilbur, who's 1 for 2 with a ground out. First and second, 1 out here at Varsity Field. And there's another foul ball off to our right. Definitely not trying to jinx us here at Varsity Field, but it is amazing as how much traffic we have down Wesleyan Drive and how many foul balls we have. We're only averaging about 1.2 cars hit a year. It is absolutely amazing. The ball going to drift just past first base, but Autumn Barnhart makes a nice play over there. Kind of an over-the-shoulder catch, and One of the things I've also noticed about Coach Ardezer's team is a very fundamental softball team. They're doing a lot of the little things right in the field that's going to keep them in a lot of ball games and give them an opportunity to win some games this year too. So, fundamentally disciplined team. That pitch is down. Thought it might have got her in the lower part of the leg, but I don't believe so. Time called at the plate. Faith Calloway, second baseman. With a couple outs here, Saints trailing 2-1 in the fourth. Hard hit ball back up the middle. So runner at third is actually going to be safe due to fielder obstruction.
Bat number 11, Santana Anderson.
And Saints have runners at second, third. That ties it up 2-2. And a big-time hitter in the form of Santana Anderson at the plate for the Saints. That pitch is down in the dirt, gets by Yarborough, and that allows Carly Womack to score. And now the Saints are on top of the Warriors 3-2 here in the fourth. We are straight up 6 o'clock here in Central South Carolina. Fourth inning. Foul ball, one more. One can't count. Breaking the action with all the foul balls. Having to push some more this way. There's a line drive just over the outstretched glove of Emmy Copeland, and Kennedy gets it back in quickly to the infield, but not for. Another run scores for the Saints, and that's going to be probably the end for Ella Grace Lawton. Pitched well, just seemed to get a little tired here, and like we talked about, possibly just due to the fact she was a mid-year transfer, but a lot of good things ahead for her. Remaining part of this season, fourth inning. Warriors trail 4-2. We're 2 outs. During this pitching change, we're going to take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Now batting number 92, Madison Chapel.
New pitcher for the Warriors is going to be Jalen Monfort. It's going to be Jalen's 4th appearance. She does have a 1-0 record. She picked up the win in the season opener last week over UVA Wise. And with that, first pitch swinging third baseman Madison Chapel with Santana Anderson on second base.
Oh, Farrell, we just had a pitcher change. I'm so sorry. I put that up and then it didn't go up.
Hard hit ground ball into left field. That's going to allow Anderson to score. And the throw gets by the relay, which allows Madison Chapel
Now batting number
head into
14,
second base.
Madison Vinicombe.
Catcher Madison Vinicombe steps in. So big inning here for the Saints. They've picked up 4 so far in the top of the 4th. We're sitting with a couple of outs. 10 hits for Limestone, 4 for Southern Wesleyan. A lot of softball still left, including the bottom half of the 4th inning. So we'll see exactly if the Warriors can respond quickly after we get this final out of the 4th, top of the 4th. There's a pop-up. Probably going to get out of play. Our view is blocked.
How's that 1-1?
Nice pitch on the swing and the miss by Montfort. Pushes it to a 1-2 count here with a couple of outs. Vinicombe at the plate. Madison's 1 for 2 with a double. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Limestone 5, Southern Wesleyan 2. Fans, we're back here at Varsity Field in the bottom of the 4th. Saints picked up 4 in the top half, and Leading this off is going to be A.G. Wingate, designated player. A.G. Actually, A.G. I may have misspoke, said A.J. A.G. actually pitched game 1. Had a big fly, huge home run in the top half of the or bottom half of the 7th. She's batting now. And she is 0 for 1 with a ground out earlier. There's a called strike, pushes it to 1-2. Wingate is another roster player that took some time away from the game after graduating from high school, but was actually here during the fall, so she's had an opportunity to kind of knock the rust off a little bit. Recruited out of high school and here with the Warriors now. Third baseman Emma Jo Wolf. The bottom half of the 4th with 1 out. There's a ball going to be hit up the middle, and Emma Jo beats that one out. Second baseman Faith Calloway couldn't get there quite in time. So a 1 out single brings Ryan Yarborough to the plate. Catcher for Southern Wesleyan called first game as well. Got some action in the Limestone bullpen. And a called strike. So Caroline Ruth gets ahead 0-1 with 1 out here. Emma Jo Wolf on the stolen base. Throw gets through to the outfield, but she is unable to advance, so she'll stay at second and in scoring position. So some aggressive base running there by Clay Ardeeser's squad. Trying to do what he can to manufacture some runs here. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2 count, 1 out. Ball just out. So Yarborough working with a full count, 1 out, runner on second base. And there's a swing and a miss, so 2 outs now. Brings up center fielder Madison Kiefer. Another swing and a miss. So Ruth is taking advantage of the pitches upstairs here. Still got just enough velocity to get by the Warrior hitters. And a swing and a miss. And with that strikeout, that ends the fourth inning. So nothing showing for the Warriors. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be in the top half of the fifth. Saints still lead 5-2. Designated player Reagan Bristol steps in for the Saints. Jalen Montfort back out inside the circle for the Warriors. Pitch up in the zone there. Pushes it to a 1-1 count. Leadoff hitter for the Saints in the fifth inning. Pitch once again up in the zone for Montfort. Payoff pitch here with no outs for Montfort. Reagan Bristol standing in. And there's a foul ball, so we'll start all over again. It's a little break in the action. A lot of foul balls here, so Having to get some retrieve from the dugout and in the outer area. And once again, we'll go with the payoff pitch. And there's a fly ball deep left field. And that's going to be a foul ball. Our view was obstructed. I don't know if it was out of play. Not a whole lot of foul territory here at Varsity Field or at the Con, the baseball stadium. So a hard hit ball down the line.
Now at the bat, number 3, Taylor Jenkins.
Reagan Bristol beats it out. So she'll be at first base here with left fielder Taylor Jenkins. Attempted bunt there by Jenkins, fouled off, and once again, Warriors infield looking for a bunt or a slap hit here. Emma Jo Wolf playing about 12 to 15 feet inside of the third base bag. That pitch got away from Montfort just a little bit. Good play by Yarborough to keep in front and away from getting to the backstop. So 2-1 count. Still no outs here in the top of the fifth. A ground ball to Emily Copeland. She'll flip over to Addie Johnson to get the force out. And there's a called strike. That pitch up and away. Fly ball out. Talissa Kennedy up and under. Makes the play. Throws back behind the runner. Jenkins retreats back to first base. So now we're sitting at 2 outs here in the top half of the fifth. And this brings up center fielder Carly Womack. A lot of speed on the base pass here for Limestone. Womack's had a couple of infield hits already in the Warrior infield with Emma Jo's up good 15 feet in front of the bag, and Addie Johnson's actually a couple feet inside of the third base line, and that one's going to be just over and in front of Madison Kiefer. She gets it back in quickly. Nice play to keep the runners at bay at first and second and to keep the force play.
Now batting number 10, Katie Wilbur.
Shortstop Katie Wilbur batting now with a couple of outs. Wilbur's 1 for 3 here in game 2 with a ground out and a fly out. There's a fly ball out to right field. Kennedy back and makes the catch to end the inning. So that's going to retire the Saints. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th. Warriors still have some work to do. They trail 5-2. Second baseman Emmy Copeland's going to lead off things here in the bottom half of the 5th for the Warriors. First pitch swinging, foul ball back behind her. Pitch down in the zone, pushes it to a 1-2 count. Fouled off once again. Copeland 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Warriors have 5 hits here in game 2, 2 runs. They've had 6 strikeouts, and Saints pitcher Caroline Ruth has no walks on the night so far.
Now batting number 28, Corey Rominger.
Left fielder Corey Rominger steps in, takes a ball, first pitch. As we mentioned, Warriors will head down to Anderson on Saturday for a noon start. Then they'll take some time off and head to the Georgia College tournament February 17th and 18th, where they'll face Georgia College and Mars Hill. It's going to be a while before they're back here at Varsity Field. On the 21st, they'll be here hosting Augusta University. Rominger stands in with a 2-2 count. And a swing and a miss there on a nice changeup. Caroline Ruth.
Addie Johnson.
Shortstop Addie Johnson steps in. Addie led off this game with a solo home run and a double, run-scoring double as well. So she's 2 for 2 so far with a couple of runs scored, and as we mentioned, an RBI. There's the drive to deep right center field. Center fielder Carly Womack moves over and makes the play for a nice catch to end the 5th inning. So we'll head to the top of the 6th, 5-2 Saints. Jalen Montfort still out in the circle, rather. For the Warriors, Cambry DeBerry back behind the plate. I believe that's going to be the only changes for the Warriors here in the 6th inning. Down 3-0, Montfort battles back to a 3-1 count. And just like that, Montfort battles back to a full count. So full count here, no outs, top of the 6th inning. See if the Warriors can get a quick 3 up, 3 down and get back in and get some runs. And there's a hard hit ball. Nice play by Amy Copeland. Makes a great stop out there at second base and tosses it over to first baseman Autumn Barnhart.
The bat number 11,
Santana Anderson. Steps in, 2 for 3, 1 run scored, an RBI, a double. And as we've mentioned all day in both games now, Anderson, obviously at least so far through 7 games this season, the top hitter for the Saints. She is a freshman, and if any indication of this hot start is the rest of her freshman season, her career, she's going to be quite the player in the South Atlantic Conference. There's a hard hit ball down the left field line, but foul. Santana's from Fairmont, North Carolina, and is listed on the official roster as a first base utility. So a couple of freshmen here in the game that I've noticed with some good swings. Alyssa Kennedy's got a good swing. Andy Gray, Wingate, obviously providing some much-needed power for the Warriors. And, of course, across the other dugout, as we mentioned, Santana Anderson. So 3 freshmen that could have some good careers. Things continue to go well. Pitch just off the corner. DeBerry letting the dugout know it's just off the plate. So 2-2 here with 1 out. We'll see what Montfort's pitch selection is. Coming from pitching coach Mallory Ardeeser. Full count, payoff pitch coming here soon. And that pitch, up and away. So Santana Anderson draws the walk here in the 6th inning.
92, Madison Chapel.
Third baseman Madison Chapel. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI on the night. Also got hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning, I believe it was. That pitch down. Amy Copeland moves over back behind the bag. Strike called. The Warrior infield playing to pull. Off the bat of Madison Chapel. Leaves a big hole in the right side of the infield, but and there's a ground ball to Addie Johnson. Flips over, not in time. So just a little hesitation. Addie didn't quite get it cleanly enough to get the lead runner, Santana Anderson. So that puts runners at first and second here with one out. And Madison Vinicombe, who was 1 for 3 with the double and a strikeout. Saints have 3 doubles on the night here in game 2. 13 hits. So the Saints have 12 hits, 5 runs. Warriors 2 runs off 5 hits. They have committed an error along the way. That pitch up. Time called at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes here. Now the umpire's going to change it to 1 ball and 1 strike.
I didn't do anything. I had it at 1-1, and then he put his hands up at 2-1. I was like, that's not right. It's 1-1.
A little confusion there
For the first time,
on the
right,
count.
he was wrong.
Got it straightened out. Now it's a 1-2 count on Vinicombe. And there's a called 3rd strike. So Monfort battles back. Gets a big-time punch out. And the designated player, Reagan Bristol, who is 1 for 3 with a ground out. Saints have spread their hits out. Only one Saint hitter in the lineup is hitless so far. That would be left fielder Taylor Jenkins. She is on deck. You remember she came back, pinch ran in the first game. Had a really good base running play there to score a run for the Saints in the 7th inning. A lot of energy still in the dugout, both dugouts. That pitch is down in the zone. Santana Anderson at second with a big lead, big secondary lead. I take advantage of any type of pass ball or wild pitch. Monfort has been in the zone ever since she came in relief of Ella Grace Lawton. Ella Grace pitched 3 2/3 innings. Scattered 9 hits, walked 1, 2 strikeouts. Really pitched good all the way through the 3rd inning. Seemed like she just may have gotten a little tired there at the end, but stronger she gets, more effective she is going to be, obviously, on the mound or in the circle. And that one just misses. And in doing so, it's going to load the bases. And left fielder Taylor Jenkins makes her way to the plate. Outfield's going to make some adjustments. Left fielder Corey Rominger, playing shallow. Kennedy in right. Kiefer in center. Playing pretty much straight up, normal depth. Emma Joe Wolf at third is about 10 to 12 feet inside of the bag. And there's a fly ball, right center field. Kennedy's back and off her glove. That's going to be a tough break for the Warriors. An error in right field, and that's going to plate a couple of runs there. So Jenkins with some good speed on the bases. 3-base error, scores 3.
Now at the bat, number 23, Jalen Atkins.
2 outs here. That pushes it to an 8-2 lead for the Saints. That pitch down in the dirt. Swing and a miss. Jalen Atkins, the right fielder, stands in. 2 outs, 1-1 count here. And we are in the top of the 6th. Misplay in the outfield has kind of blown this one open a little bit. Nice pitch, but so that might have missed down. 2-1 count here. Monfort with the look in, and that pitch is going to be up in the zone. One of the areas Coach Ardisa had talked about is getting the quality pitching that they'll need early on. There's going to be some arms that are going to continue to develop. And as they develop, they'll get better, but that errant throw is going to allow Jalen Atkins to reach. So another unearned run here in the 6th inning.
Now bag number 2, Carly Womack.
The Warriors So a couple of misplays here in the field have hurt the Warriors, and we were talking about earlier how they've been playing much more fundamentally disciplined and thus far this year. And so just a couple of errors have been detrimental here in the sixth inning. He's going to call that a swinging strike. So 0-2 count now. 2 outs for the speedster Carly Womack. And that's going to be a tough play. And Montfort's throw goes down the right field line. So yet another error. I believe that's the third error we've had this inning. It's going to play another unearned run. And with Womack's speed, she's going to be standing at third base. So the Warrior infield is going to gather up, just kind of settle everyone down. We'll take 20 seconds and be back shortly. Hard hit ball right back off of Montfort. Nice play by Copeland, but I believe the field umpire is going to call her safe. So a hard hit ball back up the box. Faith Calloway. After Wilbur's infield hit, Kate Faith Calloway is going to make her way to the plate. (11-2) now for the Saints. There's a fly ball to Corey Rominger. And Corey makes the play in left field to end the top of the sixth inning. A rough top half of the sixth for the Warriors. We'll see if they can get their composure back and scratch out some runs. We'll be back in 45 seconds. Welcome back, fans. Varsity Field. See if the Warriors can scratch out some runs. And there's a good start as Talissa Kennedy delivers the first pitch single back into center field. So Autumn Barnhart, the first baseman, steps in. So you know Kennedy feeling a little rough there on the misplay of the fly ball back in the top of the sixth. Comes back and responds the best way she can. with a base hit right back up the middle. Good to see a freshman respond that way. Showed some mental toughness. Autumn Barnhart, as we mentioned, the first baseman, steps in. She is 1 for 2 with a ground out. Warriors have 6 hits, 2 runs, and they're needing to collect some runs here in this 6th inning. I am transitioning from baseball to softball, and this is my first play-by-play for softball, so I do have to admit I am not sure what the run rule is. I believe it might be 8 after a certain amount of innings, so for the Warriors to continue, we're going to need to at least scratch out a few, hopefully a few more than that. Put us back in contention in the 7th inning. And there's a strike called, so Barnhart pitch down in the zone, pushes it to 1-1 count. Saints outfield is pretty much straight up. Ground ball to the third baseman. And she fires over, does Madison Chappell to retire Barnhart. Kennedy over to second, and Emma Jo Wolf. Emma Jo Wolf stands in with a couple of outs here. Kennedy still at second base in scoring position. See if we can keep her from being stranded. Called strike. Puts it at 1-2 now. Ground ball. Shortstop with a nice throw across the diamond. And I believe that is going to be the ball game. And that is going to be the ball game as we finish up with 6 innings of play. Limestone, 11 runs, 13 hits. Warriors, 6 hits, 2 runs. Crucial stat line was 4 errors in the 6th inning. Big 6-run inning for the Saints. They also scored 4 in the 4th, so the bulk of their offense was in 2 innings. Tough loss for game 1 for the Warriors. They dropped that one 5-4 after making a gallant comeback. Tough loss here, 11-2 in game 2. They'll regroup, get back on the practice field tomorrow. Head down to Anderson on Saturday. Prior to that, baseball will be in town hosting Coker at 1 o'clock, first pitch doubleheader. Softball will head to Anderson for a noon start. Lacrosse will also be at Anderson for a 2 o'clock start. And track is competing actually tonight. And so we'll get those results up as quickly as possible. Thanks for joining us. If you're a baseball fan, you